Have you ever felt like you can understand most of what you hear in English? But when it's your turn to speak, your brain just freezes? The words are there, but they hide somewhere in the back of your mind. You try to remember grammar rules. You try to think of vocabulary, but nothing seems to come out naturally. If that's ever happened to you, you're not alone. Almost every English learner experiences this, and today we're going to talk about why. We'll look at how our brains actually learn languages, not the way textbooks tell us, but the way real people do. Hey there! Welcome back to another episode of English Ear Training Podcast. I'm Eva, your host, and I'm so glad you're here. Ready to relax, listen slowly, and discover how to improve your English in the most natural way possible. Today's episode is a little different. It's not just about phrases or grammar or pronunciation. It's about understanding the process, the invisible system your brain uses to truly acquire a new language. This topic is called second language acquisition, and it's based on the work of a linguist named Stephen Krashen, who spent decades studying how humans learn languages. But don't worry, I'm not going to give you a lecture. This will be a conversation, a calm, storytelling journey through 5 fascinating ideas that can completely change the way you study English. Some of these ideas might surprise you. Others might change the way you think about learning forever. So, listen to this episode closely, because by the end, you'll understand your brain in a way you never have before. So, let's begin. First, let's start with something familiar. Think about a baby learning to speak. They don't study grammar. They don't memorize vocabulary. They don't even know what a sentence is. They just listen. They hear sounds every day, words, emotions, rhythms, and their brain starts connecting them without effort, without stress, without rules. Then one day, the words come out. Not perfect words, not grammatically correct words, but real, meaningful communication. That's what Stephen Krashen calls acquisition. It's not the same as learning. Learning is when you consciously study something. Acquisition is when your brain absorbs it naturally through experience, through context, through repetition. Krashen's first idea is called the acquisition versus learning hypothesis. It says that we don't become fluent by memorizing grammar. We become fluent by understanding messages. When you listen to English podcasts, watch TV shows, or read interesting stories, you're giving your brain natural input. Your brain starts recognizing patterns, word order, rhythm, pronunciation, tone, and little by little, without you realizing it, those patterns become part of you. That's acquisition. Learning, on the other hand, is what most schools focus on. Teachers explain grammar rules, students write notes, and everyone tries to remember formulas like add ed for past tense. That's not bad. Learning can help you understand how a language works. But learning alone doesn't make you fluent. You can know the grammar perfectly and still struggle to speak naturally, because fluency doesn't come from the mind. It comes from the ear. Let me tell you a little story. There was once an English learner named Miguel. He was very intelligent. He could explain every grammar rule in the book. But every time he tried to have a simple conversation, he would stop after every sentence. He'd say something, then pause, thinking about whether he had used the correct tense or article. Sometimes he even corrected himself and made the sentence worse. He was so focused on being perfect that he forgot to simply communicate. That's what happens when we rely too much on learning and not enough on acquisition. You see, language isn't just knowledge, it's a skill. Like dancing or swimming or playing the guitar. You don't think about every movement, you just feel it. The same thing happens with English. You don't have to think about every rule if your brain has already absorbed the rhythm of the language. That brings us to Krashen's second idea, the monitor hypothesis. The monitor is that little voice in your head that checks what you're saying. It's useful sometimes, but dangerous if it becomes too loud. If you've ever paused mid-sentence to correct your own grammar, you've met your monitor. Some people use it too much. They become perfectionists. They want every word to be perfect, and because of that, they stop speaking freely. Their English becomes slow, mechanical, and full of hesitation. Others use it too little. They speak fast, but with lots of small mistakes that they could easily fix if they took just a second to think. The goal is balance. Let your monitor help you when you need it, but don't let it control your flow. When you're speaking with a friend, don't focus on being perfect. Focus on being understood. Now let's talk about something that surprises most language learners, the natural order hypothesis. This idea says that your brain learns grammar in a specific order and not always the one your teacher expects. For example, you might easily understand complex tenses like, I've been working, but still forget to say he walks instead of he walk. That's not a mistake to be ashamed of. It's completely normal. Your brain acquires certain structures earlier and others later. In fact, research shows that some simple-looking grammar rules, like adding -s for the third person, come much later in the learning process. That's why even advanced students sometimes make small, beginner mistakes. So when that happens, don't get frustrated. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means your brain is following its own natural timeline. Think of language learning like growing a tree. You can water it, give it sunlight, and care for it every day, but you can't pull on the branches to make it grow faster. It grows when it's ready. Next, we come to my favorite one, the input hypothesis. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you already know how powerful input is. Input simply means everything you take in, listening and reading. These are the moments when your brain is quietly learning without you even noticing. Krashen believed that we only acquire language through input, not through speaking or writing. When you speak, you're using what you already know, but when you listen or read, you're adding new things to your system. Now, not all input is helpful. If it's too easy, you don't learn much. If it's too hard, you get lost and frustrated. So Krashen introduced a simple formula. I+1. I represents your current level, and +1 means material that's just a little above that level. Maybe you understand 80% or 90% of it, but there are a few new words or phrases that push you to grow. That's the perfect zone for progress. You understand enough to follow the story or the conversation, but your brain is also challenged to notice new patterns and meanings. That's why this podcast is designed the way it is: slow, clear, natural, and just a little challenging. Because every minute you spend listening is helping your brain acquire English without pressure, without stress, and without memorization. When I started learning French, I experienced this myself. At first, I tried to memorize everything: grammar rules, verb conjugations, vocabulary lists. But when I actually spoke, I couldn't remember any of it. Then I changed my method. I started listening to short podcasts in French every morning. I didn't understand everything, but I understood enough. Over time, I stopped translating in my head. I started thinking in French. And that's when I realized I was finally acquiring the language. Now let's talk about the last piece of the puzzle: the effective filter hypothesis. It sounds technical, but it's actually about emotions. Your emotions can either open or close the door to learning. When you're relaxed, curious, and happy, your mind is open. You absorb words naturally, you remember them easily, and you actually enjoy learning. But when you're nervous, embarrassed, or afraid of making mistakes, your mind shuts down. You stop listening deeply. You stop experimenting. You stop growing. That's what Krashen called a high effective filter. It's like a wall between you and the language. So, if you want to improve faster, focus not only on study time, but on your state of mind. Play English songs that make you smile. Watch shows you truly enjoy. Talk to people who make you feel comfortable. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. Mistakes are not signs of failure. They're signs that you're learning. You don't have to force English into your brain. Your brain already knows how to learn it. You just need to give it the right environment. Consistent listening, meaningful reading, emotional connection, and patience. That's the secret. Let's take a moment to remember what we've talked about today. You don't just learn English, You acquire it bit by bit through real, meaningful input. You can use your monitor to correct yourself, but not so much that it stops your flow. You'll acquire grammar naturally in your own personal order, and that's okay. You'll grow faster when you listen to things that are just above your level, not too easy, not too hard. And most importantly, you'll learn best when you're calm, confident, and emotionally open. So the next time you feel stuck, don't say, "I'm bad at English." Say, "I'm still acquiring English." Because you are. Every time you listen, every time you feel curious, every time you understand a new phrase, you're getting closer. If you want to make real progress, make English a natural part of your daily life. Listen while walking, while cooking, while doing nothing at all. Let English live in your ears, not just in your notebooks. And slowly, without realizing it, you'll find yourself thinking, feeling, and speaking in English more easily than ever before. All right, we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope this episode helped you understand how your brain truly learns languages, and I hope it gives you the confidence to trust your process. You're doing amazing. Even on the days you feel slow or stuck, remember, your brain is still learning quietly in the background. Keep going, keep listening. Keep believing in yourself, because the way you learn is perfectly natural. Take care, and I'll see you next time.